and welcome to this amazing platform. I am Shruti, your French trainer. In today's session, we will learn about adjective possessive and adjective demonstrative. Now, let's get started. So, adjectives. Here we will learn about two types of adjectives, that is possessive and on the other hand demonstrative. Now, here we have a small paragraph or a small sentence. Now, here first of all, let's try to understand what is possessive. It says exprime le lien qu'il existe entre deux êtres ou entre un être et un objet. So basically, possessive means a link that exists between two beings or two human beings or between a human being and an object. Now, always remember that whenever you are writing adjective possessive, you have to do an agreement or accord with the gender and with the number. Now, here it says, les adjectifs démonstratifs indiquent un ou plusieurs éléments de tout. In simple words, I will tell you that demonstrative, basically in English, we have this, that, these, those. So, demonstrative means this, that, these, those, which we will learn today. Now, it says adjectif démonstratif indique un ou plusieurs éléments, un élément de tout. So, let's take an example here. This is a circle and this is a full circle. So, we will consider it as the two. We will consider it as the two. So, let me write down here the two. So, the two means of all. Now, it says that an element of all. So, here demonstrative means an element of all or few little elements or many elements of this whole circle. So, this is demonstrative. Now, in simple words, just understand this, that, those, these. Moving further, we have this table. So, this table basically tells us about adjective possessive. So, I have written AP, adjective possessive. It is divided as masculine, feminine and plural. Now, here these, je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. These are our sujets. Alright. So, here we have mon, ma, mes, which means my, ton, ta, te, that is your, son, sa, se, his, hers or its, notre, no, our, votre, vos, yours, leur, their or theirs. So, if you want to use adjective possessive for masculine singular object, you will use mon or ton or son, notre, votre or leur depending on the context. Now, feminine. If you want to use adjective possessive with feminine singular, so you could choose ma, ta, sa, notre, votre, leur. If you want to use adjective possessive for plural or in case of plural, you could use mes, tes, ses, nos, vos, leur. I hope that this table on adjective possessive is clear to you. So, let's move further. Here we have a very important sentence which says attention or attention. So, I have put a little star here. I know that this star is not that much good, but never mind. So, attention. Attention means Attention! It says, devant un nom féminin commençant par une voyelle. So, if any noun which is beginning with vowel, or devant un nom féminin, if any feminine noun is beginning with vowel, ou un H mute or H mute, il faut employer un adjectif. So, at that time, il faut employer an adjective possessive masculine. So, if we have a feminine noun, for example, and it is beginning with vowel or H mute, at that time we have to use possessive masculine or a possessive adjective masculine. Don't worry, we are having some examples. So here, écharpe. So this is a feminine noun. École, feminine noun. Adresse, feminine noun again, and wheel, feminine noun again. So here, I hope that this little sentence written in French is a bit clear to you, which says, if some of the feminine nouns which begin with vowel or H mute, at that time, which possessive or which adjective possessive you are obliged to use. So, you have to use adjective possessive masculine. So, there is a list and there are certain exceptions that you have to learn. For example, écharpe, okay, which means scarf. So, mon écharpe. So, instead of writing ma écharpe, they have written mon écharpe, because if they have written ma, so it would have been wrong, grammatically wrong. Again, ton école, okay, so your school, you cannot write ta école, it's wrong. So you have to write ton école, and here we have son adresse, mon huile, and so on. I hope that this attention or this sentence is clear to you. It is very, very important. Please keep this point in your mind. Now, moving further, we will learn about adjective demonstrative. So, we have learned about possessive. Possessive, what does this term possessive means? Basically, it means to show a certain possession, a certain ownership that we have already learned, right? Like my scarf. So, it's my scarf because it belongs to me. That's why we have written. Let's go back to the same example. So, here we have mon écharpe. So, it means it is my scarf. So, I am showing a certain kind of ownership to my scarf, that it belongs to me. That is the reason I have used here adjective possessive. Now, it is the time to learn about adjective demonstrative. In the beginning of our session, I already told you that in English we say this, that, these, those. So, in French, we have adjective demonstrative. Now, les adjectifs démonstratifs, it is divided into 4 parts. Could you see here 4 parts? So, here we have, and then the last one. Okay, so we could see here les adjectifs démonstratifs. This is ce, cette, cette, and say. Don't panic, the pronunciation here will remain same. It is set and set, but it is ce. Please repeat, ce, and this is say. You cannot pronounce S here, you cannot say says, no, it's wrong. You have to say say. Now, let us try to understand when to use ce, set, set, and say. Here we have our first category, that is ce. It says devant un nom masculin, singulier. So, you will only and only use ce when you have a masculine and singular noun. For example, here we have some examples, number 1 and number 2. So, number 1, ce bateau est grand. Now, since bateau means boat. since boat is our singular, we are not talking about many boats. We are only talking about one boat and it is masculine, it is not feminine. So we have used here ce. Ce bateau est grand. So this boat is big in size, it is big. This boat is big. Now, ce château est immense. Now, here chateau, again, it is masculine and it is singular. So, chateau means castle. So, this castle is large, is immense. It is large in size. It is so massive. So, here we have used ce chateau. Now, next we have cette. So, it says devant un nom masculin. Let us try to highlight this. Nom masculin, singulier, commençant par une voyelle ou un H mute. Okay, so cette, C-E-T, cette, you will only use if your noun is singular, first of all, if your noun is singular and masculine. But it is beginning with vowel or H mute. Let me try to highlight this again. H mute. Then only you are obliged to use cette. So here again we have example. So example number 1 and then example number 2. It says cet arbre est beau. So arbre here it is beginning with vowel. This case is vowel. This is the reason that we have used here cette, and it is singular and it is masculine. So this tree is beautiful. Now cet homme est jaloux. Alright. So here H. H is our H mute, silent, and here we are talking about only one homme, that is only one man, and it is masculine. So this man is jealous. So we have used here cette. I hope that the concept of ce and cette is clear to you. Let's move further, and then we have our third criteria, that is cette. When to use cette? When to use cette? Here we have our answer. So it says devant un nom féminin singulier. So if your noun is feminine and it is singular, you have to use this adjective, that is cette. C-E-T-T-E, cette. Again we have some examples. So example number 1, example number 2. Cette femme est belle. So femme, it is feminine noun and it is singular. This is the reason that we have used here cette. Now the sentence means that cette femme est belle. This woman or this lady is beautiful. Belle is beautiful. Now cette avenue, so it's très long. So this avenue is very long. So it is, I know it is beginning with vowel, but it is feminine. Alright, and it is feminine singular. This is the reason that you have used here cette. You cannot use here C-E-T because it is beginning with vowel. No, you have to also learn which nouns are considered to be feminine and which nouns are considered to be masculine. So I know that avenue has feminine roots. So this is the reason that I have written here cette. Instead of writing cette, it is wrong. You cannot write cette. You have to write cette. C-E-T-T-E. Now, next criteria, last one, we have say. Do you remember the pronunciation? We won't call it as says. Instead, we will call it as say. It says devant un nom pluriel. So, if you are talking about, let's say, plural nouns, at that time, you have to use say. Now we have examples. So, example number 1 and example number 2. Ces arbres sont grands. Now, again the same sentence that we learnt let's go back. That we learned here. Cet arbre est beau. Now here, ces arbres sont grands. Now there's a little difference. Last time we used beau, that is beautiful, but here we are using grand, which means big. So arbre, because it is plural, so we have to use ces. Ces arbres sont grands. These trees are big. Now, ces photos sont belles. So photo. These photos are pretty, are beautiful. So photo is plural, so you are obliged to use ces. I hope that the concept of adjective possessive and adjective demonstrative is clear to you. Now, moving further, we have les questions. What does this mean? Les questions means there are some questions. So there are total 5 questions and you have to read the sentence. If you don't understand the meaning or some lexical resource, then you have to find it in the dictionary and you have to complete these blanks. You have to fill these blanks with the correct choices. So here in the bracket you have some options. So you have to choose whether you will use sont, ça or ces. So you have to only pick one. Same you will do it here, and same you will do here, here and here. Now don't worry and please pause the video for 5 or 10 minutes and complete these 5 questions. So this was all for today. I would leave you and merci beaucoup.